morning again. Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 16th, I think it is, of October. Day 3 of our little Cornish trip. We started off down near Helston, near Falmouth, this morning, and we've got two collections which are just north of Exeter. We've had a bit of an earlier start this morning. Been on the road for a while, but it's just after 6 o'clock now. Deal with these roundabouts. It's 6:30 actually, and we're heading towards Truro on the A39. I noticed on the sat-nav last night the journey to the collection point was going to take about 3 hours, and when I switched it on this morning it said it was going to take 4.5. So I had a look at the route, and it seems the A30 has been dug up round Bodmin, which I think is quite a common thing. I was going to start a little bit earlier, but because the road works, I thought we'd give them a chance to open the road again. So I'm hoping by the time we get to that section of road that they'll have it back open again, and we can just go the normal way. That lane assist that you can hear, I know I've said it before, it's there just to tell you that you're kind of wafting over the lines, but sometimes you just can't help it, especially on these little narrow roads. And they're a bit keen, to be fair, on the Merc. Now you can turn the system off, but it's there for a reason, and if anything was to happen, you'd have a bit of explaining to do. Oh blimey gov, it is a bit dark out here. We're just going to take it nice and easy because we've got dry stone walls on one side. Tired people on the other. Yes, so our collections are going to be just north of Exeter, a place called Bridgewater, and eventually we're going to be working our way towards Colchester with that little lot, so could be in for another fairly long day. Okay too. Sure we're in the right lane. Bit of a confusing road that one when you come up to that island. Oh, I've got to go around the island. It's alright, we're okay. There we go. Stopped and got some fuel yesterday, just up by Cornwall Services in the A30. If you can remember, the services were closed to the fuel part of it were anyway. I remembered there was another place just around the corner, and luckily they still took the card, so we're starting off with pretty much a full tank of fuel. Your teeth in, Steve. All this area of Cornwall, shut up, I used to do tours around here when I was on the coaches. We used to do the Cornish Gardens, Lost Gardens of Heligan, Treba, and we used to get on to Tresco as well, which is the Scilly Isles. We used to stay in St Ives, go all over Cornwall looking at the gardens. I used to do it twice a year. Just for the difference in flowers and scenery. I used to enjoy that tour. I used to come and do an afternoon in Truro. And of course, if you're into Jethro, the comedian, he quite often mentions Truro and Camborne and the train that goes to... You have to be in it to win it. I do like a bit of Jethro. Dry throat again this morning. Boy, a fighter that's on. So empty at the minute, we have nothing at all in the trailer, apart from a few straps. Turning off here shortly. Top of the hill, round to the left. The truck is absolutely filthy. You can probably tell by the view. I think there's a bit of a splodge right in front of the camera. It was absolutely chucking it down with rain last night. It's a bit like being in a caravan with the rain. You hear it splish sploshing on the roof. And sometimes, if you park near the coast, you even get the seagulls walking around on the top. That was quite a day yesterday. Some of them roads. I don't know how well it will show up in the time lapses. Shall soon see. I seem to be developing my little sayings. We shall soon see. Tally bye for now. Right. I think that's another one. Right. Okay. Anyway. I know I say that quite a bit. Anyway. Better wait for the red lights. This road links us back up and onto the A30 in about 10 minutes or so. It's about 5 miles, I think. The A30 is the main arterial road that goes down from Exeter all the way down to St Ives. It's kind of the middle road through Bodmin. That's at the end of this road. We'll be turning right onto it. It's the A30 that was closed this morning. Hoping it is just roadworks and that it will be open again by the time we get there. comes, we shall soon see. It is a bit dark and dingy. I know the camera's not too bad in the dark. It probably looks worse on the little screen than what it does on the telly. I've got a bit of a following of cars at the minute. I think we'll love you and leave you for a bit. We've rabbited on long enough. And we'll catch up once the sun starts coming up. I dare say after today, that'll probably be it for this week with the videos. So it's a lot of work putting them together. And I've been lucky enough to be able to do them in the cab through the last couple of ones that I've done. But obviously that kind of adds on to the end of my day, which I don't mind when there's nothing else to do, if I'm awake enough to do them. It does give me something to do. I mean, really, I should be getting out and having a walk or something. Like I said, I can't remember if it was last week or Monday, we'll do a bit of a talk about mental health and the job. We'll maybe do that at the end of today, if we get a chance, but if not, I'll do that next week for sure, because it is quite a biggie in this job, mental health. It's one of them jobs that you'll either love or hate, and there's quite a bit to take in, so we'll have a good old discussion about that. And of course, if you've got any comments about how the job affects you or how it's affected you, I'd appreciate your feedback. You feel free to private message me that little lot if you like, rather than make it public. But I think it's quite important, you know, to get the word out there. If the job's affected you in any way, it's good to give a true representation. And if I could please ask you to be respectful, to think about what you're writing. I want you to be open and honest, but keep in mind that there are kids that watch these videos. So if you can keep that in mind, I would really appreciate it. But I think it's important that people do realise, you know, some of maybe the little things that can affect you on a daily basis surrounding the job. The relationship kind of between the office and drivers, that kind of thing that can affect you. So we shall love you and leave you for now. I'd be interested to hear your feedback, and as I said, you can private message me if you feel what you have to say is too much to put up publicly. That's absolutely fine. Pop it in a message, and what I'll do, I'll maybe read some of them out. It might be an edited version, but it will contain the bare bones. I won't mention, if you don't want me to, you know, your name, where you work, that kind of thing. If you're happy for me to give you a mention, pop that down as well in the comment. we'll leave it there for now, and we will catch up shortly. So bye for now. Hello. Is that better? Oh, camera again. That's just taken 20 minutes to try and sort that out, to switch on. Right, we are still on the A30. It's just gone 7 now. I've just had a Snickers and I've got peanuts stuck. Yes, just gone past 7 o'clock on the A30. The road has reopened. Thank God. Just coming into the roadworks section where it would have been closed. But the road's open again, so we're back to 9 o'clock collection rather than at 10:30. So I'm happy about that. My little plan has worked. It's paid off. It's worth knowing these little bits. Sometimes it's worth having a bit of a lie-in. Just let the roadworks clear. Then you can get on with your day. So we shall turn the light off because I can't see a thing. And I'm going to turn the camera around. We shall catch up again shortly. For now. Colchester, next to services. And we've still got just under an hour to go. Traffic has been quite busy around this area. This is the sort of lunacy you fully expect some of these cars to come back into the left any second now, like this Mazda's doing in front of a lorry. Ridiculous. He was already in that lane and he came out, nearly caused an accident, all for getting ahead half a dozen cars. Silly, silly, silly. So we've still got about 50 minutes to get to the collection. Picking up for Old Valley, I think it is. So it'll be like pet food or bedding. 2 collections to do around Bridgewater, and then take them over towards Colchester. At least it stopped raining. Completely lost the use of the app for controlling the phone. Completely lost it again. So I'm hoping that'll be recorded. I guess we'll find out in a bit. Alright, so first collection has been done. And we're now heading on the A39 towards Glastonbury. For our second one, it's only a couple of miles up here. Just been confirmed that the deliveries have been booked for tomorrow, so it's still quite a jaunty across to get over there towards Colchester. There's one in Bury St Edmunds. I think there's another one in between Bury St Edmunds and Colchester. Get as far as logically possible or feasibly possible, whichever way you're looking at it. Try and get a bit of a head start for tomorrow. So we're just a couple of minutes away from the second of our collection points. Side of Bridgewater. So far, so good. Be a little bit careful with turnings like this. Keep an eye on your left mirror, because as I turn right, the back end of my trailer swings out. It's quite a tight turning, but it's not tight, it's just kind of full lock round. There's any amount of room, but it's kind of a last minute turn, if that makes sense. So you're pulling the trailer all the way round, the back end of the trailer will swing out, so you've got to watch the back corner of your trailer against vehicles that are coming up the inside of you, because they won't be expecting all of that. And the back of this trailer's actually got a lift on it, tail lift, so you have to be even more careful. Carefuler. does indicate left. And he's outside having a schmuck. Oh, sorry. See if I can squeeze through a little bit. Yeah. Loads of room. What's the matter with him? Feet up tonight. Now we're not too far off. I can see is that a sign up there? So yeah, Mont Valley, there we go. Once again we're on a bit of a tight corner here. These Mercs, you can't just go for it, you have to bring yourself to a standstill sometimes. Let's just see where these guys want me. That's the exit. Just let this car go that's behind me. I'll go in the other way. He come hurtling round that corner. Excuse my French there. Windows down just so you can hear what's going on around you. Over the speed bumps. We'll go and find out what's occurring. Come in just round the corner here. See if this man's going to signal where to be. Up in a bit. Well, just sat for an hour waiting for my collection to find out it was collected an hour ago. Somebody else has been in and got it, so I've just had to wait for half an hour or so just to see if there's anything else that I could pick up to take across with me, but unfortunately there is nothing. So we are going to head over to Dereham, which is between Norwich and King's Lynn. That's our first drop, 285 miles away. Certainly doing the miles this week. We've done 3.5 hours already. It's about 6 hours, so we ain't going to get there, not today. It's booked in for tomorrow, as are the other two. So we've got Dereham, where Norfolk goes around like that, it's kind of there. And then we've got one there and one there, which makes no sense. I know what I mean. So they'll be done tomorrow throughout the course of the day, hopefully before lunchtime, and then we can crack on, hopefully with a collection and something sensible for Friday, which will bring us to the weekend. Evidently Tanya's got something planned for this weekend. It's my birthday coming up. Birthday. 21 again. No idea what she has planned. hopefully something calm and relaxing. We'll soon find out. There we go again. But anyway, we've had a 30-minute break here just at the entrance to this collection place. I've had a cup of tea, made myself a brew for the road, had a catch up with my daughter Tasha. She's on holiday at the minute in Spain, back tomorrow. Yeah. So we'll fiddle with the Stevie Ange mount. We'll get ourselves some kind of a view out the window. That'll do. Yeah, that looks good enough. And we're good to go. Yeah, as you can see, there's double yellows on the road, and yes, I've been sat waiting, but it is a private estate, and I stayed with the truck. I could have moved if I wanted to, but I was waiting for word from work and I wasn't in anybody's way at all, and I remained with the vehicle, so I could have moved it if I really needed to. But I also needed to be fairly safe, or fairly close by, in case they wanted to send me in. There was only one loading bay there. From the last video clip, I was actually in the wrong place. It was it was Mole Valley Supplies, and it was the one that came up on Google Maps. It was just a couple hundred yards up the road here, and they went, "Ah, no, you're the second one today." I should have known then. What do you mean I'm the second one? Surely I should be the only one. But anyway, the other one that was there has collected the stuff that I should have been picking up, and he's now going to the same places that I'm going. So we're going to be following each other around, I think, tomorrow. We'll see who can get there first. Well, I probably won't be videoing any more this week, because I've done 3. I did say I was only going to do 1 a week, but these longer trips, they kind of lend themselves a bit more to it. So you've either been very lucky, or sorry for giving you 3 videos this week to watch. So we're going to be like last week. We were backwards and forwards across the country. Same again today, except this time we're going to be going a different route, and once again I shall do as much of a time lapse as I can. I know the last couple of videos I've been this is where the other place was, here just on the left, so I was nearly right, I weren't far off. I know the last couple of time lapses have been, 10 minutes worth, 3 songs worth, but I'm not going to do that every time, because I know that will end up getting on people's nerves. Unless you're happy for me to do that, if you'd rather me do that, I will do that. I shall be led by you. And don't forget to give me some questions for next week. I can only ask questions if I have questions. Otherwise, I will just trawl through last week's, just revisit some of the questions that I had from there. So thank you very much again for your follows. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the